My name is Hugh Barclay. I'm a book artist. I'd like to start by talking about the current state of publishing poetry. And you will notice that the books are almost all the same size. They're all bound the same way. They all use the same faces. Uh, and they do this to bring down the cost of the book. But it means that we see the books and they are not important and they are not of value. And I'd like to start with a poem that is a verbal art form, and then I build a visual art form around that using my press. And I do that to give the books importance, value, and beauty. Objective abstract art is art that is abstract but has a goal or an objective, as opposed to art which is non-objective abstract. And many years ago, I was asked to see a young lady who was very involved. She was at that time she was about 40 years old. She was spastic. She was nonverbal. She couldn't move, and I was asked to make her a unit to take her in a bus, and we made that unit, and it was the first time in her life that she saw freedom. In this book, the first block is very rough and very involved, as I saw her at that time. And then I was able to, in the second block, I was able to show that in fact that the only thing she had going for her was her eyes. And then you see in that block that it is reduced to that. In the final block, it shows her moving out of the box that she has been in for 30 years. And this book is a long poem about a young girl that was raised in the Catholic Church. And you need to know a little bit about the poet, whose name was Paolo Pasolini. Now, that person was an outspoken critic of the Catholic Church, an outspoken critic of the government of Rome. He was a member of the Communist Party. He was a filmmaker, a poet, and a linguist. And at the same time, he was gay and bipolar. And this gave me a lot to work with. His poem is a verbal art form, and we needed to make a visual art form around that. If you take the cover and you tilt it in front of yourself, the title will float on the peaks of the paper. And this really says that he wrote on the peaks and not in the valleys of his bipolar state. In the book, on each page, I use a thing that I call a soft block, and these are meant to show the music of the poem, but also to show the changes that this young girl went through. And you can see as you go through them that in fact the shape changes, but the color does not. On the second page, you notice the one gets bigger and the music goes up here. It dies down on the next page, and it gets broader on the following page. And it finally emerges as a butterfly. But if you look at the pages, the lines are biased left a little bit to show that he was a member of the Communist Party. In this book, I have set the poems in a very large face to show the courage and the passion of this poet. On each page is artwork that is basically objective abstract. And as you go through the book, that you notice that I'm only using shape and color. And allows you to read it in different ways. And that really is the beauty of this artwork, and that is it will say to one person one thing and to another person another thing. Dr. Babbitt speaks about her history of cancer and dealing with the prospects of death. The text is a powerful verbal art form that needs a visual art form package. I wanted the dancers to come from the text, and you can see them in the title page, and they go through the end papers, they go through the cover, and they pop out on the front of the cover. The end papers are truly the cosmic dance. And this book is a long poem about war crimes. It is a very powerful poem. It is meant to be read to a group of people, and I will read you the first page, and then you can see the way it works. I stand innocent of all wrongdoing. I stand innocent. I wasn't there. And when they enslaved Africa, I wasn't there. And when they starved the Irish, I wasn't there. And when they murdered the Jews, I wasn't there. And when they killed all the bison and murdered the Indians, I wasn't there. And if I was just following orders. And that is the way you publish poetry out loud. We need to give books the importance and the value they deserve. And there are readers out there who will basically appreciate this. That in Canada, each year are published approximately 20,000 titles. Only 20 of those books are printed by letterpress on acid-free paper. These books will last for 500 years, or will give you your money back. Thank you for your consideration.